I'm literally standing on top of $5 million in cash, and in just a few minutes, 2,000 people are going to be battling for it. This isn't a normal challenge, this is the start of something the world has never seen before. Imagine a stadium filled with thousands of competitors, the roar of the crowd echoing off the walls, the sheer energy of knowing that one person is about to walk away with more money than anyone has ever given away in a single video. That's the scale we're dealing with. As the gates swing open, thousands of contestants flood the field, each one with the same dream: survival. But here's the catch: by the end of this very video, 1,000 people will be eliminated. Half of them will lose their shot at history before they even realize what's happening. Look to your left, look to your right. One of you might become a millionaire, the other might be out in the first 5 minutes. The stakes have never been higher, the prize has never been bigger, and the games have never been this insane. Every single person here has a story. Some quit their jobs, some are playing for their families, others are just here to prove to themselves they can do the impossible. And all of them are about to be tested in ways they could never imagine. From impossible strength trials, to heart-pounding games of memory, to brutal contests of trust, this is more than just a challenge. This is survival of the fittest, the smartest, and the boldest. And at the end of it all, only one will remain standing to claim the $5 million prize. The countdown begins now. Are you ready?
Home is not an option! Guys, this is for $5 million! We don't want to be the
2,000 contestants, 5 massive teams, and a single challenge that would instantly crush 400 dreams. The first game was designed to test pure strength, teamwork, and endurance in a way that no one could prepare for. Waiting for them on the field was a 10,000-pound boulder, so heavy that just looking at it made people's arms ache. The rules were simple: 5 teams of 400 each, and whichever team pushed their boulder across the finish line last would be eliminated. 400 people gone in one race. No second chances. The moment the whistle blew, chaos erupted. Contestants screamed, muscles strained, and entire groups tried to coordinate their push while others fumbled in panic. Leaders emerged instantly, shouting strategies like generals in battle, while weaker players were carried along by sheer momentum. The sound of thousands of feet pounding the ground echoed through the stadium as boulders inched forward. Every second mattered, and every misstep brought elimination closer. 3 teams powered ahead quickly, determination painted across their faces. It came down to red and yellow, neck and neck in the final moments. Contestants screamed, pull, push, run. As desperation kicked in, the boulders creaked forward, inches at a time, until the yellow team finally surged ahead, leaving the red team in disbelief. 400 players instantly lost their chance at $5 million. Their dreams crushed under the weight of the boulder. They couldn't move fast enough, but this is Beast Games, and no one leaves empty-handed. Each eliminated contestant still walked away with $2,000, softening the blow but reminding everyone just how high the stakes are. And with 1,600 players still standing, the next trial promised to be even more brutal.
With $2,000, which might be a big brain move because these trials are only going to get more intense.
The stadium lights dimmed, and an ocean of metal briefcases stretched out before the remaining contestants. This was the second trial, and it wasn't about strength anymore. It was about focus, memory, and speed. Each team would step into the arena one by one, surrounded by hundreds of identical cases. Some were marked safe, others eliminated, and their only lifeline was a giant jumbotron flashing the positions for just a few seconds. If they memorized correctly, they lived to fight another round. If not, their journey toward $5 million ended right there. The pink team went first. 400 people pressed against the border, eyes glued to the screen as the safe cases lit up. In seconds, the map vanished, and chaos exploded. Contestants sprinted, collided, and dove across the field, desperate to lock in their choice before anyone else grabbed it. The pressure was suffocating. Your chance at millions rested on a single box. When the countdown hit 0, the cases opened. 350 green, 50 red, 50 people crushed in one flip of a lid. Orange followed. Then green. Each time, the tension rose higher. Contestants shook as they clutched their cases, whispering prayers, celebrating survival, or collapsing in disbelief. But when it came to yellow team's turn, MrBeast twisted the game. Instead of a fresh pattern, they had to use the exact map green had been given, only flashed for a couple of seconds. Panic spread instantly. People scrambled, running blindly, hoping their memory served them. When the cases opened, hundreds screamed in joy while 50 stood frozen in despair, eliminated in a flash. By the end of the trial, 1,200 remained. The crowd roared, but the players knew one thing: the further they got, the crueler the games became. And what came next would push both strategy and loyalty to the breaking point.
Now that everyone has a case, it is time to find out what your fate is.
The field transformed once again, this time into a battleground scattered with brightly colored flags. 1,400 contestants lined up, each one staring at the markers that stood between them and survival. The rules were brutal in their simplicity: capture a flag, and you move on. Miss, and your journey ends. With only 1,100 flags in total, that meant 300 people would be eliminated. No tricks, no resets. You either run fast enough to grab one or watch your dream vanish. The first round started with just 10 flags, forcing chaos right from the start. Dozens sprinted, clashing in midair, bodies colliding as they fought over scraps of cloth. Some snagged their targets instantly. Others stumbled and fell inches short. The unlucky few walked off the field in silence, eliminated before they even had time to breathe. As the rounds continued, the stakes got higher and higher. 50 flags. 100. 200. Each horn blast set off a stampede of desperate contestants, their shouts and footsteps shaking the stadium. Some players tried to be clever, holding back to wait for later rounds, believing their odds would improve. But strategy quickly turned to regret as groups worked together to secure flags for each other, shrinking the supply faster than anyone expected. One wrong step, 1 second too slow, and it was over. Alliances crumbled, friendships dissolved. And desperation took over. Every flag became a lifeline, and people fought like their futures depended on it, because they did. By the final round, 115 players stood trembling on the line, staring down at just 50 flags. It was pure madness. When the horn sounded, the stadium erupted into chaos one last time. Screams, crashes, victories, heartbreak. When the dust settled, 1,100 remained, battered but unbroken. They had survived another trial, but what waited next would test something even more fragile than speed or strength: trust.
3, 2, 1, reveal! What did you get?
The stadium floor shifted once more, this time revealing towering platforms divided into groups of 100 contestants each. For the first time, strength and speed meant nothing. This challenge was all about trust and betrayal. The rule was simple: stay on your platform. If even one person stepped off, the entire platform of 99 others would be eliminated instantly. One wrong move, one moment of weakness, and an entire group's dream of winning $5 million would collapse in an instant. At first, the energy was electric. Teams shouted chants, declared loyalty, and promised to hold strong no matter what. Vibes, not bribes. One group yelled in unison, refusing to be swayed. But as the minutes passed, doubt crept in. MrBeast returned with temptations: $5,000 cash to the first person willing to betray their group. No one moved. The crowd roared. The price of betrayal, it seemed, was higher. Then he upped the stakes, $50,000. This time, the tension was unbearable. Contestants edged forward, eyes darting, hearts pounding. And then it happened. Before the countdown even began, one player jumped, thinking they'd secure the prize. But the timer hadn't started. No money, no second chance, just betrayal. In that instant, 99 devastated teammates were eliminated because of one person's mistake. Gasps filled the stadium, followed by silence. That single leap cost an entire platform their shot at history. From there, the challenge only grew more cutthroat. Platforms swayed between unity and paranoia, each contestant questioning who might break first. With every minute, temptation grew heavier. Trust became fragile, alliances cracked, and the air thickened with fear. By the end, only 1,000 players remained, scarred from betrayal, hardened by survival, and ready to step into something far bigger than a YouTube challenge. They had earned their ticket into Beast Games.
We are placing flags across the playing field in front of you. You will need to capture a flag in order to move on.
The dust settled over the stadium as the final 1,000 contestants stood in disbelief, realizing they had survived what might be the most brutal gauntlet ever filmed. Out of 2,000 dreamers, only half remained. The cheers were deafening, but beneath the celebration was exhaustion, relief, and the heavy weight of what was still to come. They hadn't won yet. They had only unlocked the door to something even bigger. MrBeast appeared in the center of the arena, surrounded by towering stacks of cash and screens flashing $5 million. His voice boomed through the stadium, "You thought today was insane? This was just the beginning. Every single one of you standing here right now has earned your place in Beast Games, the biggest competition show the world has ever seen." The crowd erupted, players hugging, screaming, and crying as the realization hit them. This wasn't the end of their journey. It was the start. Fireworks exploded above the stadium. The cameras cut to close-ups of contestants vowing to win, parents calling out their kids' names, athletes shadowboxing in the background, influencers hyping themselves up to millions of fans watching live. The energy felt like a championship final, only the prize wasn't a trophy. It was life-changing wealth. Jimmy smiled at the camera, eyes locked in, voice filled with certainty. 1,000 of you have survived. But only one will take home $5 million. Welcome to Beast Games. The lights shut off. The crowd roared, and the screen went black with a single line, "Coming soon on Prime Video."
Yes. You're calling out your flag.
Yes. I got 47. Do not go to 49. We got 20.
I'm literally standing on top of $5 million in cash, and in just a few minutes, 2,000 people are going to be battling for it. This isn't a normal challenge, this is the start of something the world has never seen before. Imagine a stadium filled with thousands of competitors, the roar of the crowd echoing off the walls, the sheer energy of knowing that one person is about to walk away with more money than anyone has ever given away in a single video. That's the scale we're dealing with. As the gates swing open, thousands of contestants flood the field, each one with the same dream: survival. But here's the catch: by the end of this very video, 1,000 people will be eliminated. Half of them will lose their shot at history before they even realize what's happening. Look to your left, look to your right. One of you might become a millionaire, the other might be out in the first 5 minutes. The stakes have never been higher, the prize has never been bigger, and the games have never been this insane. The first trial was a test of strength and teamwork, 5 massive boulders, each pushed by 400 people. The slowest team would be gone forever. From the second the whistle blew, chaos erupted. People screamed, muscles burned, and leaders emerged, shouting strategies like battlefield generals. 4 teams surged forward, but one fell behind. As their boulder lagged, 400 contestants saw their dreams crushed in an instant. What came next was no easier. A stadium floor filled with hundreds of identical briefcases, flashing safe spots for only seconds at a time. Pick wrong, and you were done. Entire sections of players collapsed in despair as red lights sealed their fate. Others screamed with joy, clutching the right case. The numbers shrank again, from 1,600 to 1,200, then came the flags. A brutal stampede for survival. 1,100 flags. 1,400 players. 300 guaranteed to lose. Horn blasts sen.